All right, so you're thinking about a career as a rehabilitation support worker.
Yeah, helping people face some pretty incredible challenges, to regain their strength.
That's a path that's just, well, it's filled with compassion and resilience.
Definitely.
And witnessing those real-life transformations, I mean, that's got to be incredible.
Oh, absolutely.
And if you're looking for information about this career path, well, you've come to the right place because we've been diving deep into RoleCatcher's career guide and platform. And let me tell you,
Fascinating stuff.
really is.
A lot of people, when they think healthcare careers, they immediately jump to doctors and nurses.
Right.
But what RoleCatcher really highlighted for me was the absolutely crucial role that rehabilitation support workers play in that whole journey.
Absolutely.
They're the ones providing that day-to-day support, that constant presence as people are literally rebuilding their lives.
Totally. And it's not always easy,
No,
but the impact,
that's what the reward is.
that's got to be where the real reward is. And speaking of not always easy, RoleCatcher doesn't sugarcoat things, does it?
Not at all.
They get real about the emotional demands of this job. Imagine working with individuals facing those challenges, like the aftermath of a serious accident.
Oh, absolutely. Or folks who are learning to adapt to life with a disability.
Yeah.
That takes a special kind of strength, a special kind of empathy to guide someone through that.
Absolutely.
And it's something that RoleCatcher points out right away. They actually go into detail about the types of situations that rehabilitation support workers might encounter.
Right.
We're not just talking about physical therapy here. We're talking about the emotional and social hurdles as well.
Right.
I mean, think about someone who's experienced a spinal cord injury, for example.
Wow.
They're not just relearning how to move their body, they're relearning how to live their life. And that's where the support worker steps in, providing encouragement, guidance, that listening ear.
That puts things into perspective.
Yeah.
It's about so much more than just the physical rehabilitation, isn't it?
It
It's
is,
about rebuilding a life,
piece by piece.
piece by piece, yeah.
Yeah.
And that brings us to something else that RoleCatcher highlights, the surprisingly diverse skill set this job requires. I mean, of course, you need compassion, empathy.
Of course.
But get this, they say persuasion is a key skill too.
Interesting.
That piqued my curiosity.
Yeah, it makes perfect sense when you really think about it. Imagine working with someone who's feeling discouraged, maybe even resistant to the help that they need.
Yeah.
You need more than just medical knowledge there. You need that ability to motivate, to inspire hope, to help them see those possibilities, even when they can't see it themselves.
Wow.
That's where that persuasion comes in. It's about empowering your clients, helping them take ownership of their own recovery journey.
That's a fantastic point. And it really speaks to the deeply personal nature of this work, doesn't it? It's about connecting with people on a human level,
Absolutely.
building that trust, walking alongside them as they rediscover their strength, their independence.
Yeah.
But I'm also realizing as we're talking about this, this sounds incredibly challenging emotionally.
It can be.
RoleCatcher, tell us more. What are some of the pros and cons that you uncovered?
Oh, they definitely don't shy away from the tough stuff.
Yeah.
Right from the beginning. RoleCatcher acknowledges that this job, it can be emotionally draining. You're constantly dealing with other people's pain and struggles, and
Yeah.
it's impossible not to be affected by that.
Right.
They even share a story from an experienced rehabilitation support worker who talked about how important self-care is
Oh, wow.
and having a strong support system outside of work.
That makes total sense.
Yeah.
You'd need to be able to, recharge and process those experiences to avoid burnout, I would imagine.
Absolutely.
But on the flip side,
Right.
what are some of the biggest rewards of this career path?
Well, RoleCatcher users, they talk about the incredible sense of fulfillment that comes from seeing someone's progress firsthand. Imagine, seeing someone walk again after a terrible accident,
Wow.
or helping someone with a developmental disability gain their independence.
Right.
These are the moments that make all the challenges worth it.
Yeah.
And on a more practical note, the guide mentions that there's a lot of variety in terms of work environments, which I thought was interesting.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah.
So you're not just stuck in a hospital setting.
Right. You could be in a hospital setting, sure.
Yeah.
But also private clinics, rehab centers, even in people's homes.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
Some rehabilitation support workers even focus on community outreach and advocacy, working to break down those barriers for people with disabilities.
Wow. That opens up a whole world of possibilities.
It does.
You can really tailor your career path based on your own interests and your strengths and things like that.
Absolutely.
Okay, so we've talked about the emotional demands and the rewards, but What about the actual day-to-day work?
Right.
What would someone in this role actually be doing?
Well, according to RoleCatcher, no 2 days are the same,
Okay.
but they do a really good job of breaking down those core responsibilities.
Okay.
On a practical level, you might be helping clients with like personal care tasks like dressing or bathing or assisting them with, mobility exercises.
Right.
You might also be working on things like cognitive skills communication or social interaction, depending on the client's needs.
So it's like a real mix of hands-on care and therapeutic support.
Yeah, a real blend.
And I imagine there's a lot of documentation involved too, right?
Absolutely. Keeping detailed records of a client's progress, communicating with other healthcare professionals, and advocating for their needs within the system,
Right.
that's all part of the job.
Speaking of advocating for their needs, you mentioned earlier that RoleCatcher highlighted systems analysis as a valuable skill in this field.
Yes.
That sounds kind of complex. Can you break that down a bit for us?
Of course, it's about understanding the bigger picture of a client's life.
Okay.
So imagine you're working with someone recovering from a stroke, and they're struggling to access affordable transportation to get to their therapy appointments.
Yeah.
That's where the systems analysis comes in.
Okay.
You need to understand how things like transportation systems, healthcare policies, community resources might be impacting their recovery, and then advocate for solutions.
So it's about being like a problem solver,
Yes.
a detective, an advocate,
Rolled into one.
all rolled into one. Wow.
Yeah.
It sounds like you really need to have your finger on the pulse of all the different resources that are available for your clients.
Exactly. And that's another reason why RoleCatcher emphasizes the importance of continuous learning in this field, because new therapies are constantly emerging, policies are changing, technology is playing a bigger and bigger role.
Right.
A successful rehabilitation support worker is someone who is adaptable, resourceful, and always eager to learn.
And that makes me think about the different career paths available in this field. RoleCatcher mentioned it's possible to progress from those entry-level positions to more senior roles. Can you tell us more about that? What does that career ladder actually look like?
Yeah.
What does that climb actually look like?
Well, they've actually mapped out a really clear progression.
Okay.
So you might begin as a rehabilitation support worker assistant,
Okay.
providing direct support to more seasoned professionals.
Okay.
Think of it like an apprenticeship.
Okay.
You're learning the ropes, mastering the fundamentals, building those essential interpersonal skills.
That makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
You get that hands-on experience while also having someone to kind of show you the way, what comes after that initial stage.
Well, as you gain experience and confidence, you could move into like a junior rehabilitation support worker role.
Okay.
And at this level, you're taking on more responsibility.
Yeah.
Maybe working more independently with clients, managing your own caseload. You might even start to specialize in a particular area, like working with a specific population or focusing on a particular type of therapy.
So there's room to really kind of niche down and follow your passions within the field. That's something I bet a lot of people don't realize.
Yeah.
What about those people seeking those leadership roles?
Right.
Where does that path lead in the world of rehabilitation support work?
Well, RoleCatcher highlights a couple of exciting paths for people with those leadership aspirations.
Okay.
You could become a senior rehabilitation support worker,
Okay.
where you're supervising teams, mentoring junior staff, and playing a key role in like developing and implementing treatment plans.
So still very hands-on with the clients,
Mhm.
but also guiding the overall approach to their care.
Yeah, it's a bit of both.
That's a great option for someone who enjoys the personal interaction, but also kind of the strategic side of things.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And then for those who are really passionate about improving the system as a whole, there's the path becoming a rehabilitation program coordinator.
Wow.
Or even a director.
Yeah.
And these roles involve, overseeing entire programs, advocating for policy changes, really shaping the future of rehabilitation services.
That's incredible.
Yeah.
It really does paint a picture of a career with like real longevity and diverse growth opportunities.
It is.
It's not just a job. It's a profession you can really build a future in.
And the best part is RoleCatcher doesn't just leave you with a theoretical understanding of this career path.
Right.
They equip you with the tools to actually make it happen.
Yeah. What do you mean?
Well, their platform, it helps you tailor your resume and cover letter to highlight those in-demand skills that we were talking about earlier.
Right.
They even offer AI-powered interview practice to boost your confidence.
Wow. So it's like having a personal career coach in your back pocket.
Exactly.
So whether you're just starting to explore the world of rehabilitation support work or you're ready to take that next step, it sounds like RoleCatcher is an invaluable resource.
Couldn't agree more.
Well, there you have it. A deep dive into the world of rehabilitation support work. We've explored the challenges, the immense rewards, the unexpected skills you need to thrive, and how RoleCatcher can help you navigate every single stage of this incredible journey.
It's been a really eye-opening conversation.
Absolutely. And we want to leave you with this final thought. We've talked a lot about professional skills,
Right.
but what about those personal qualities that you just can't teach in a classroom?
That's so true.
This is a career that demands unwavering empathy, resilience in the face of some pretty tough situations, and this unshakable belief in the human spirit.
Wow.
So we ask you, as you consider this path, do you have what it takes? Do you have the heart of a rehabilitation support worker?